Welcome back, everybody. This is Greatwhitenortherner. I'm here with another box of quarters. I'm all set to get another coin roll hunt going. Hopefully we get some silver this time, and looking forward to going through finding some more varieties, find some more of those colored coins from the Canadian quarters. It's awesome. I love doing quarters. There's so much cool stuff in the quarters that we can pick up. So without further ado, let's just jump in here. You can see we've got some custom wrap rolls in here, and hopefully we can find some good stuff. So I will bring you back in as soon as I find something. Remember, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Put some comments down below if you have any ideas on how I can make this better. I'd love to hear from you. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So here we are on roll one, and I thought this was an American clad quarter. I just dumped out the coins, and you can, I don't know if you can catch it on the side there, but you can see that multicolored cladding. So I just assumed it was a US quarter. I started to pull it out, and I realized it is not a US quarter. So I don't know what it is, but let's see. We have the Balboa Conquistador on the front there, I think, on the back. So this is República de Panama, 2001. Well, we'll start off with a foreign coin right off the hop. Thought that was a US quarter, and was just going to pull it out and set it aside, but no. So anyway, I guess we're into the roll here, so let's just take a quick look through. We got a Stanley Cup what is that, 125-year quarter there, without the color on it, so probably won't keep that one, but let's see what else we got going here. 2010. 2005. Whoops, what's this? We got something else coming up here. Looks like another foreign. 1993 Banco Central. Oh, the Philippines. 1 peso, I guess. Well, we got two foreigns. I've not seen either one of those coins ever before, so we'll set those ones aside. We'll see what else we find in here. I didn't notice either one of those. Well, I noticed the one. I thought it was a US coin, but certainly didn't. Oh, this looks different too. What's this? Oh, this is just the Canada Day quarter. It's got a little bit different back on it, or front on it. Sorry, get my obverse and reverse mixed up for sure. What do we got here? 1974. I don't think that's a low mintage year, if I remember correctly. No. And I got a Canadian, one of the poppy ones without the color on it, so probably just keep the colorized versions of these, unless I found one that's in really nice shape. But and yeah, that's it. Okay, well, we got a couple foreigns to start us off there. Set those aside, and I will pull you in if I find something interesting. All right. Alright, we are on roll number 8 here, and we have found a colorized poppy. So this is the 2004 Remembrance Day poppy. It is the very first time that they did any coloring of our quarters, or any of our coins really. And so it's a bit of a test run. They had some problems with this fading, so you'll see in some of the newer ones the color of the red is much brighter, and some of these have got faded to the point where you can barely even tell that they had any color on them. But anyway, in past videos I've kind of not bothered pulling them out, but they are actually about a 28 million that were minted out of over 200 million. So I am going to keep this. I'll set it aside with the other ones that I have. I actually have quite a few that I took right out of rolls very early on when they first came out, or pulled out of circulation right away. But anyway, have that. And then I also had pulled a couple lower mintage coins out. 2001, which I think I don't actually have in my collection for some odd reason. And these here are the month quarters from 1999. So this is in August, And I have, basically I'm going to pull out anything from January to August. They have about 12 to 17 million of each that were minted, and they're before 2001, so they are going to get pulled out of circulation. So I'm going to pull these ones out as well and just set them aside. I did also get a couple of US quarters, including a 1965, so we got awfully close to silver there, but not quite. So alright, well, we're here. Let's just take the rest of these, go through, and see if anything jumps out at us. 2006, what's this one? 1984. Oh, it's a New Brunswick. So, this one has a reversed, or a rotated die version. So let's just flip her over and see if we can find one. So if I can try and do it. Nope. Anyway, I don't know how many of those there are, but there are some rotated dies where the obverse head is rotated from the reverse. So that was not one of them. Alright, let's keep going here. We're almost, oh, there we go. We got a Tecumseh colored maple leaf. And this is part of the Heroes of 1812. So I'll set this one aside as well. It's in pretty decent shape, and a little dirty around the edges there, I guess. But yeah, so that's, again, the mintage on those, if I remember, about 6 million each. So worth pulling out. So I'll set that with that as well. So we actually end up getting a couple things in this roll. So we've got two that are stuck together here. But no, nothing exciting there. Okay, I'll bring you back in if I find some more stuff. Okay, so this is roll 9, and we have here another variation from 2013. This is the whale. There are two different versions of this. The frosting is slightly different on each. So on this one you can see the frosting just under the mouth there, or on the bottom part of the mouth, and then on the two babies. And then on the other version it's frosted in the reverse of that. So I think it came out at the same time as the War of 1812 series, and so I believe there's about 6 million of each of this version. So I will pull that out. It's in pretty decent shape, and I'll set it aside, and we'll see if we find anything else. Alright, we're on roll 14 here, and I thought I would just bring you back in, as I have found a couple quarters I was going through, and then I just uncovered this one, so I thought it was worth talking about. So these are part of the War of 1812. I've got a bunch of the colored versions before. These are the frosted versions, so they're all 6 million mintage each. And one is Salaberry. I think he was a lieutenant general, hero of War of 1812, and Brock as well. And then, of course, we've got the colored, what was this series again? Legendary Nature series. So they're stylized whale and bison and eagle, I believe, and some come with a colored version of them, and those are about 6 million each as well. So I'll set that one aside. And I think I saw something else peeking out here. Yeah, so there's another, oh, and that's the colored version of the Salaberry one. So this one matches with this guy here. And so now I've got both, the colored and frosted version, and we've got a couple more quarters to go here, so we might as well just take a look at the last few. Don't see anything else there of any interest. So yeah, so I got 4 out of that that roll there, and they're all about 6 million mintage each. So alright, we are on roll 18 here, and I thought I'd pull you back in as I have a few finds that I thought would be fun to go over. So on here, this is a 1994. If I can get that to come into focus there, and it has a mintage of about 77 million. So I'm pulling those aside. I actually brought this one back down. This is the one I found earlier. Something on there, and but I just wanted to show the difference. So I just found this one, and this has the frosting on the opposite parts of the whale. So you can see where the frosting is here and on the two little baby whales. And this one here, it's a little bit hard to tell with the lighting, but the frosting is on the body of the whale rather than on the mouth and the two babies. So I'm probably not going to keep this one. He's in pretty rough shape. Probably not worth hanging on to. This one's a much nicer version of it, and I do have a few of these already, so I'll look for better copies to hang on to. And then the reason why I thought I'd bring you in is I've got this 2010. It's the 65th anniversary of World War II. Remembrance Day poppy, or Remembrance Day quarter, and of course it has the double poppy on it. They're very nice and bright red. really sharp, one of the nicer coins from the colorized series, and all the poppy coins are actually quite nice, and there's about 11 million of those that were produced. So I'll set that one aside as well. And alright, so we're just coming back in here on the next roll, and I did find another one of these poppy quarters from 2010. It was actually right at the front of the roll. We just talked about it, so I didn't bother bringing you in, but then I found this one, which is the 2010 wheelchair curling commemorative coin from the Olympics, and which was in Vancouver that year. And on the back of this, the mule of this has a different obverse. So what they did is, this one is actually, this is not the mule, this is the Paralympics symbol on the back, but the mule has the actual Olympics symbol from that year, which is that symbol. So if you were to flip it over and see the regular Olympic symbol on the back of the coin, it'd still be a 2007, but it would have a different symbol there. That's the mule variant, and that's what you're looking for. So again, keep that in mind when you're digging through your change, and you're looking for the wheelchair Paralympics coin with the regular Olympic symbol on the back. All right, bringing you back in here on roll 24. So we have found a couple coins here as I'm starting to search through this this roll. So this one here, it's not the variety that you're looking for. There are only two known versions of this, but it is something to watch for. It is probably a $20,000 quarter if you can find it. So this is the Millennial Series, and this is the Community Quarter. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just throw this underneath the microscope here so we can kind of see it a little bit better. That's the French, so this is the Community Quarter. And what we're looking for on here is a P mint mark on the back. So there were a couple made as test runs in 2000. They've only found two from what I understand. And you're looking for a P underneath the Queen's head there. So this, of course, is not one of those, but thought I would mention it. Something to be looking for in your change. Boy, would you be lucky if you found that. And then I noticed as we're going through, we have a family. So this is from the same series of coins. This is the family one. And behind it is the Pride Quarter. So the Pride Quarter has a rotated die version. So let's just take a quick look here. That's the front, or sorry, the reverse, and that's the obverse, and so they are both in the same direction. So not a rotated die, but thought I would look at it while we're here. Seems it was sitting right there, and yeah, I don't see anything else, so we will pull you back in if I find anything as I'm going through this. Alright, here we are on roll 31, and I have found a very low mintage quarter that I've been looking for. So this is actually a 1983. You can just see it here. Let's see if I can get that to focus properly. And that is a mintage of about 13 million that year, so it is not going to cooperate here. So let's just throw that up on the microscope so we can see it well. 1983, decent shape. It's actually got a little bit of gloss and luster on it. The obverse look. Obverse is in pretty decent shape as well. So yeah, so I'll pull that out. Only 13 million. Alright, so I was going to show you the end of this roll as I grabbed it, because I noticed there was a US quarter at the end, and I thought, it looks like it's a fairly new one, so I won't worry about it. But as I open it up, I realized there is a ton of US quarters in here. Certainly a bunch of them at the end, and I noticed some down here as well. So let's just go through these together and see if there's anything interesting in there. So 1981, I believe, is what we've got here. And 1995, it's a 2007 Utah, another 2007 Washington. It was a centennial quarter, looks like it, or bicentennial, so 1776 to 1976. And Georgia State quarter, got an Everglades from 2014. I don't know if there's any varieties in that one. Maybe somebody throw something in the comments there. I'll look at myself afterwards, but if there are any varieties there that I should be watching out for, let me know. What else we got here? An Ohio state quarter. So a whole chunk of them all at the end there. And these are all Canadian. Stanley Cup one. The 1990, the month December one. I'll set that one aside as well. I'm sorry, I guess I should show it to you. 1999. What else we got here? It looks like an August. Yeah, August. So I'll set that one aside as well. I guess I'll move these up. 1985. Got some more US quarters here. 1995. So 1985. Another US quarter. State quarter, North Carolina. Yeah, so there's a variety for that. And that's it. Alright, well we got a whole bunch of US quarters out of that. We get almost $1, almost $3 worth of US quarters, and a couple of the millennial quarters as well. So anyway, I thought I'd bring you in for that. Didn't find anything exciting, but it's worth a try. Alright, we are on roll 45. I just started this roll here, and I did find another low mintage coin, so I thought I'd bring you in. It's 1972. It is 44 million, so I will set that one aside and see if I find anything else. Alright everybody, we are on the last roll here. Down to the last one, and I actually, you can see I just got started on it, and I've already pulled it out. I wanted to check to see if it was worth bringing you in or not. So this is 1978 quarter. It is the small dentical version of it, so I will bring you in here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the on the small dentical, there's a small dentical and a large dentical, obviously. The large dentical has 10 of these denticles, or little pips, from here to the top of the A. The small denticle, it has 12. So if you count this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is the small denticle version of the 1978 quarter. And so I will set that one aside. It's not a huge premium on it, but it is the more rare variant of the year. So definitely I'll keep that one for the collection. And I'll go through this. We might as well do this last roll together, I guess. I'll stick that over here. And let's just go through and see what we can find for this last roll. So it doesn't look too interesting. I didn't see any silver when I slid it out, but we will check as we go. 1983, and oops, actually, yeah, the 1983 is a low mintage one. So yeah, can you see that in there? 1983, yeah. So that's 13 million. I've got one of those already, so I will set that up with the other one. And let's see what this guy is. He looks a little older. 1989, 1985. These are the, again, more of the Olympics, so the figure skating ones. I'm not collecting those, I'm not keeping any of them, so I'll just move on. 2008. Looks like an older one here. 1975, but not a low mintage year. And another one in here. 1984, also not a low mintage year. And that is it. That's all she wrote. So I will bring you back in here and we'll go through all the stuff I pulled out, some of the low mintages and some of the color quarters, and I'll organize these US quarters over here and take a look at those, see if there's anything of interest in that. So, alright, we'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back and ready to do a recap here. So I didn't find any silver, unfortunately. Certainly that's my goal, but we did find enough variants here that I think we can call this a video, and we'll just run through here what we did find. So up at the top here are the 2011, 2012, and 2013 quarters. So you can see I got 4 of the colored whales, or orcas. with that blue coloration on there, enamel. I also have a plain bison that was in pretty decent shape, so I pulled that one out from that same series. Of course, you guys saw this one, which is the frosted whale. And then we have the Heroes of 1812, so we got a set of the frosted and colored Laura Secord. Same thing with the Salaberry, and then we have a frosted Brock and a colored Tecumseh. Down here are the Remembrance Day quarters. So these are the first ones in 2004 with that color in the center. You can see not nearly as bright, but there's a couple of decent ones in here. And then the 2010s are here with the double poppy on them. And then I got a uncolorized one, which was just in really good shape, so I pulled it out as well. The colored version of this one is really, really nice. I really like that one. I didn't find any of those in here. What else we got over here? We have the 1999 Millennial Series. So this one is these ones up here are the months. So I pulled those all out. They're all very low mintage as well, or most of them are. And then, of course, the New Brunswick, Alberta, and British Columbia from 1992. So this was the first time they did a series of different quarters for the year. And I did check that New Brunswick, as you saw earlier, for the rotated die. Up here we have the two foreign coins that I pulled out. And then these are our low mintage quarters down here. So we've got some 1971 or a 1971. The mintage on that one is about 48 million. 72 is 44 million. We have the 78, which is the small identical version, and then we have the 1983. So we have a really nice 1983 up here. So it's got some good luster still, sharp definition on it. So that was a nice pickup because those are only 13 million minted. So one of the lower mintage years for quarters. Then down here is our 1993, 94, and 95, all in around 77, 74, 89 million, somewhere in there. And then the 1996s are actually only 28 million. So they're, and there's a decent quality one in the 1996 as well. So I'm quite happy with those finds. I did pull out the 1973 Centennial quarter. There's two of them here. With the mounted police on them, so that was the 100-year anniversary of the mounted police. And check them both. These are both the small bust version, and one of the ways you can test that or check that is pull out a 1972. So I just reached into my collection, pulled out a 1972, and you can see the bust size is definitely larger on the 1972 than the 1973s. And so what you're looking for is to find this obverse on a 1973 coin, and that's the one that is worth significantly more. So a little bit more detail on the 73 bust, or sorry, less detail on the 73 bust. Well, sorry, on the larger bust is less detail than on the smaller bust, and of course there's a size difference as well. So anyway, so that's it for the Canadian quarters, and then I did go through all the US quarters. You can see we've got up here some of the state quarters I found. There's the new Parks quarters in here, and then just some randoms that I picked up, nothing too exciting. I did check this one for the double die obverse. It definitely doesn't have it, so the doubling would be up on the Liberty there, and I don't see any there at all. So, and we had a 1965 in here as well, so just 1 year after they switched from silver, but nothing, no silver, just a few interesting low mint and colored coins. So not a bad haul for some for a box of quarters. Still would love to see some silver. We've got a couple so far, but a bust as far as silver goes on this one. So hopefully you found this interesting. Glad to have you guys here. Again, any comments, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. I am going to do some other stuff more silver oriented coming up. And I will continue to do some more coin roll hunts, and we are going to find more silver, I'm sure of it. So we'll keep looking, stick around, and looking forward to having you here for the next one. So thanks so much. Have a great one.